What do we do with the photovoltaics when they are discarded? It just struck us कि okay, they are durable materials. Why not examine them as a building material itself?
At the Center for Sustainable Technologies that functions out of the Indian Institute of Science, an interesting experiment is taking place. Can old, discarded solar cells, which usually end up in landfills, be somehow reused? Dr. Montomani and his research students are trying to answer this question.
They are designed for a service life of about 25 years, but they are decommissioned in 10 years, 12 years. Right. So what happens then? Very often they are sold off as panels with poor performance, used for charging your lanterns and emergency lights and things like that. But then the volumes that we are generating is going to be really high.
India has been pushing for a solar revolution with an aim of generating 300 gigawatts of power by 2030. But what is going to happen to these rows of solar panels once they have outlived their service life? Unlike the European Union, there is no waste management policy for end-of-life PV cells in India. All that is available in India currently is a blueprint issued by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. This may come back to haunt us in the coming decade. According to one report, India's solar waste is going to cross 200,000 tons by 2030. The PV cells contain materials like lead, cadmium, and other toxic materials which can be carcinogenic. When they are dumped in landfills without processing, they leach out into the soil, causing soil degradation.
The whole idea with using photovoltaics as a building material is, can we extend its use life by another 30 years or 40 years?
In a world which is running out of nature-based materials like brick and sand, innovative solutions like this are the need of the hour.
If this gets picked up, it will evolve into a new class of architecture itself, which I feel will be towards, which we call, regenerative, or, where we are recovering or reusing building materials or upcycling building materials, which were originally not meant for buildings. So I think the potential for its use is unlimited. That way there are no constraints.
But what about the panels themselves? They can't be cut like your usual plywood.
The design constraint is, yes, you can't cut them to size. You have to work with the sizes that you get. You are looking at flat surfaces of particular sizes. So you got to work with that geometry. And this constraint actually leaves room for a lot of innovation, because designers like constraints, because that's where the innovation comes up.
While the front of the panel has a toughened glass, the backsheet is made of polymer called Tedlar. To avoid leaking of contaminants through moisture, it should be ensured that the backsheet is not ruptured. These effects are still being studied.
We are also actually giving some guidelines saying that you don't expose the backsheet, you give another layer of a plywood, you can recycle packaging wood for that, to see that there is no direct exposure of the occupant of the building or the air to the plastic. Right. By and large, there has been no reports of the plastic deteriorating and causing environmental damage, but you can't rule it out. I think it will take us another 4 or 5 years for us to fully understand how these can be integrated into buildings for various climatic zones.
Do you think this experiment will work? Would you consider building your houses from discarded solar panels? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe to Deccan Herald on all our social media channels.